Hey there guys! So in today's video, I decided to make use of some cardboard that I had laying around my house. I had seen a sign at Hobby Lobby and it was, trying to get the camera, it was about this size. It might have been a little bigger, but it was, they had painted it like cream. I think it was a canvas and it had a wreath on it. It was like a painted wreath and then it said joy in the middle and it was really pretty and I really liked it. And I said that would look so pretty on my mantle. But then I started thinking, I told myself that I wanted to be a little frugal this year for Christmas because I have a lot of Christmas decor. So I'm like, why do I want to go out and buy more? I already have a bunch of Christmas decor. But if I want to do something different, I said, then maybe I'm going to make something. And so that's what I'm doing here today. So this is just a piece of cardboard from a box that I had at home. And I kept the box because I store the cat that we have in our front yard for Halloween. I have it goes back into this box. So anyway, this is one of the flaps that closes the box. So then I also had, this came with something I had ordered from Walmart earlier, and it's just like a piece of like brown paper, like a brown paper bag type of material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decoupage this paper on top of here to camouflage it from looking like a piece of cardboard. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do first. And I'm going to, I'll turn it over and I'll get the whole thing nice and decoupaged and looking really nice and professional. So that's what I'm going to start doing first. And how I'm going to do it is, I just got this Mod Podge from Hobby Lobby. It's got a satin finish. So I'm just going to pour a little bit onto here, and I don't care if this has wrinkles. Like if you see this glue stuff here, I don't care about that. It's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to make a difference. So I'm just going to just spread this Mod Podge all over the paper here, as you can see. And I'm just going to Mod Podge that brown paper bag paper to this piece of cardboard here. Okay, so we've got that done, guys. And so now I'm just going to take the paper, and this paper is really noisy. So I'm sorry for the noise, but I'm just going to flip it over like this. Okay, so it's going to dry and stick onto the back. And then now I'm going to get it all nice and decoupaged over onto the other side here as well. And the reason why is because I want to camouflage the seam. I don't want you to look at it from an angle and see that it's a piece of cardboard. So I'm trying to make it look like a piece of canvas. Okay guys, so I have it all decoupaged onto the back. This is the back. The front is still, it's just drying with the decoupage. I want to paint the back first because I want this to dry, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the front. So all I'm doing is I just took some black craft paint and I'm just finishing the back of my project first so that it can dry, and then I can start working on the front of my project, because I just want everything to look nice and finished and professional. Okay guys, so I got the back of it completely painted. It's not perfect, as you can see, but at the same time, it doesn't look like the back of a box, and that was my goal. So I'm just going to let all of this dry. I'm going to flip it over, and then we're going to actually get started on the project that we're doing. But I wanted to show you this because I just really want to encourage you, when you're doing your craft projects, always finish the back, because if someone picks it up or looks at it or whatever, it just looks so much more professional and finished. So we're gonna let this dry and then we'll get started. Okay guys, so I got the back all done and I went over it really quick with a little bit of Mod Podge. And so now this is the front of our sign, okay? So as you can see, it's been Mod Podged on. It's got all the wrinkles because sometimes that happens with Mod Podge. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cream colored, it's from Anita's Craft Paint and it's called Parchment. And it's just like this cream colored craft paint and I'm going to paint the entire front of it. And again, I'm not going for perfection, okay? I am making sure that all of my brush strokes are in the same direction though. I'm going to try and get as much of it covered as possible, but I'm not going to fret if a little bit of the paper bag is coming through. That's totally fine. Now, if you want to make sure that the entire thing is covered, that's totally fine. It's all about preference. And for me, it's just not a big deal. I want to make sure I got my edges covered though. Okay, and over here where I got a little bit of black that came over, just going to make sure I got that covered there, okay? Just like this. And we're going to let this dry. And how I'm going to dry it, guys, is I'm just going to take my blow dryer and I'm just going to hit it with my blow dryer for a few minutes because that really does speed up the drying process. And I'm editing my video just because I just don't want you to, I don't want you to have to sit here and watch paint dry. Nobody wants to do that. That's boring. So that's why I edit my video sometimes so that you don't have to wait for the paint to dry. Okay, so I'm just doing the exact same thing over here. I'm so excited about this because I think it's going to turn out really, really great. And I want to put it on my mantle. I'm really excited about doing a lot of homemade Christmas projects and just making my home as cozy and homemade as possible. So that is my goal this year. I want to do a lot of natural and a lot of handmade. So I hope you continue with me on our crafting adventures. I hope you don't mind that I talk a lot and I ramble. It's just what I do. When I was a kid, I was the child that when I was in school, my chair got moved a lot because the teacher told my mom and dad that I talked all the time, that I just talked so much, and it didn't matter where she put me, I still talked. I talked to everybody. So it's just who I am. But we're gonna let this dry, guys. I'm gonna hit it with the hair dryer and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I got it dry and I turned my sign because my sign's going to go up and down this way. And so this is just the lid to a Tupperware container. And I'm just going to use it as a guide here. I'm going to push it up right about there. I want to make sure it's in the center of my project here. I'm just going to take a marker and I'm just going to lightly trace out a circle. Just trace out the pattern of it. Okay, so we have that there. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Because what we're going to do is we're going to stencil some paint around here because we're making a wreath. And what I do is, this is just the sponge that I got from Dollar Tree, and I use it to sponge paint, like stipple paint. I'm trying to think of the right word. You know what I mean. So that is what I'm going to do here first. And I'm going to use this really pretty green that I have on hand. It's called, oh goodness, where are my glasses? Okay, it's called dark green. It's called dark green. Okay, so we're gonna use that for our outer layer of our wreath that we're painting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of paint onto my napkin, and then I'm going to just put a little bit of it onto my sponge, and I'm just going to just go around like this, and I'm going to get all the paint on here. I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of paint on here because this project also doesn't take a lot of paint. And I'm going to do double duty and clean my little paint container there. So I don't want it to be heavy, because I want the shape of the sponge to show through. I don't want it to be a solid. So see what I'm saying there? I don't want it to be this solid shape. I want the sponge texture to come through. So I'm just kind of going around like this. I am trying to keep it as cohesive as possible for this. Like I'm trying to keep it even. I don't want my wreath to be bigger on one side than the other. So I'm just kind of going around like this. And painting is very therapeutic, guys. And I really do enjoy painting. And this is something that everyone can do. You don't have to be Picasso. I went a little out of the line there a little bit. That's okay. We're gonna fudge it. It's all good. But I'm gonna try and stay into the lines as much as I possibly can. And if it's something that I can't fix, it's just paint, I can always get a little bit of the vanilla and come on over and fix it, touch it up a little bit. It's not a big deal. So if you go out of the lines, or if one side you said, oh, I put a little too much over there, don't get too upset or worried about it. It's all gonna work out. See what I mean? We'll just raise it up a little bit. See? We'll just raise it on up a little bit. No big deal, guys. Okay, so guess what? That was the hardest part. Getting that first layer. It's always the hardest part when you do something like this. Once you get that first layer on, make sure you got a circular shape. You might have to take it in a little bit to make sure you get your circular shape. Try to keep them even on both sides as much as possible, and there you go. So that's the hardest part, and it's over. Hold on. There you go. Holly, remember to look up. Look up. Okay, so I'm going to take my extra paint and I'm going to put it right back into my little jar here. The little container, just like that. And then what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm not going to take the dark green off of here, okay? I'm just going to add some of this little light green to it. Now, look what I saw. Just wanted to even it out a little bit more. Okay, that's fine. So this is the other green, and this is called medium green. I thought they had like these really cool names, but they don't. So we used dark green, and now we're using medium green. You know how sometimes they have like these really neat, awesome names for paint? Well, these don't. It's kind of funny. Okay. Oh, I probably got a little too much paint there, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to take that medium green and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And what we're doing, guys, is we're just creating texture and dimension with our paint. You can also take it in a little circular pattern here, just like this. But by doing different colors of green, it just adds depth to your project. It really does. Okay. So this is all that we're doing here, just like this. Just going in a little bit of a circular pattern here now. There's all kinds of ways you can do this. But I got this idea because I saw something very similar to this at Hobby Lobby, and I thought that it was just so pretty. I really did. So there we have it. You see how the different greens are coming through? It's very nice. So we have that on there like that, and I did use a lot more paint than I needed to, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna wipe it on up here, and I'm just going to put it right back in to my little container, just like that. Just gonna wipe the edge off there, try to keep things all nice and neat and clean. Our craft items, so we can reuse them. What's that? It's okay. It must have been a little piece of paint from my bottle. All right, guys, and so lastly, we're going to add just a little bit of white onto our little wreath here. Okay, and we're almost done, guys. This is a very quick process. Please don't be intimidated by this. I promise you, you can do this. Come on. Oh goodness, I gotta coax the paint out. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Didn't want to come out there. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of white. And really gently, I'm just going to add in a little bit of white, okay? And I do want this to be just a hint. I do just want it to be just a hint. I'm gonna have to get a little bit more white over here. Okay, there we go. Okay. Just going into like a little bit of a circular motion with my little sponge. Just like this. I'm not hitting it hard at all. It's okay if some little spots are a little whiter than others. It's not a big deal. All right, I'm just gonna get a little bit more white, just a little bit. Just in spots where I feel like maybe it was a little sparse, because I just want it to look really nice and even. Okay. I'm also going to use a little bit of white around the edges here because it's just going to blend it all in. Just like you see there, guys. I'm going to do the same thing on the outside with just a little bit of white. Just going to blend it in a little bit more. Okay. All right, guys, we got our wreath done. What do you think? I think we did good. All right. So I'm going to put this over here for later. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I have my red because I want to put some little berries. I want to put just some little clusters of berries on here, okay? And that was a little too much red. I don't need all that. Just gonna try and clean it up before I put the lid back on. Okay. And how I'm gonna do this, guys, is this is a little paintbrush that we're gonna use here in a moment, but I'm gonna use this little part up here to create little red berries. And I'm just gonna put a few little clusters here and there. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Can go back and make them a little bit bigger if I want to, just like that. Come up here, do another little cluster of them. And you don't have to use red. You could use white, you could use burgundy, you could use gold. You could even use silver. Just gonna do the same thing up here. Just gonna put some little clusters of berries. But I did get this idea from a pretty canvas I saw at Hobby Lobby. And I know everything is half off, but you know, if something is $60 or $70, you know, half off is still $35. So I just wanted to show you how you can replicate, you know, some of the signs you see at Hobby Lobby, and just using, you know, what you have on hand. And you can make something just as pretty to go on your mantle. And I'm not trying to go in a perfect circle. I know it might look like I am, but I'm not trying to. Okay. I'm just trying to get a little color on here. And you know, if it's a little sparse somewhere, just add a singular one. If you think it's a little sparse, you know, in certain areas, just add a little singular one. No big deal. Just gonna do a couple more. Now you could have made these little berries with some glue and then dropped some glitter on top, let it dry for a minute, and then blew the glitter off, and then you could have little glitter berries. Just giving you some ideas. So I think that's all I'm going to do with the berries right now. So I'm just going to clean my little brush there, just like that. Now the sign that I saw at Hobby Lobby had the word joy in the middle. You might have seen it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it with my black marker first. Then I'm going to go over it with this black paint. And then I'm going to go over the black paint with this gold paint. And guys, before I do things, I like to get it drawn out first so that I know how I want it to look. So I just use like a little piece of napkin or paper, and that's just kind of how I do. And I'm wondering, do I want to use marker or do I want to use a pencil? I would suggest that you use a pencil. However, I don't think I have one. So we're going to wing it, guys. We're going to wing it. Okay, so this is the center of my wreath. So right here is where I'm going to do the O. Okay, because it's in the center, and that way I'm going to know where to put my J and my Y. So with my J, I'm going to go up, around and down. Okay, and then with my Y, I'm going to come in here like this, and I'm done. That's it. So now I'm just going to get my paints and I'm going to go over it just to make it stand out a little bit more. And then we're going to get the gold on top. Okay. So I'm just going to take my black. And if it's not perfectly on my line, it's going to be fine. I'm not worried about it. And I'm just going to take it around like this. Because remember, everything, just about everything, can be fixed. Okay. All right, guys, we got that there. Okay. Okay, guys, so just showing you, I took a little bit of the cream colored paint and I'm just touching up a few places on my word where I didn't like where the black paint had gone. Because remember, it's just paint and we can always touch up. So that's what I'm doing. There we go. Got a little red down here, so I just touch that up and we are good to go. You can always, just about always get it all fixed up with a little bit of paint, okay? So we got that done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this same little paintbrush that we were using for the black, and I'm just going to go over it lightly with the gold. And I don't have to be perfectly in the lines. Again, just gonna go over it nice and light. Like you see, just for a little pop of some gold. Just like so. I want to put a little bit more on there. I can go over it with a little bit more. I really hope you guys are liking this. I'm just showing you that it does not have to be perfect. Okay. Let me get a little bit more on there like that. And there we go. Yeah, I think that'll do it. I think that looks great. So we have that on there, guys, and now to finish our little project off, I'm going to put a bow here. Okay guys, so I want to put a bow here, and I'm going to use this pretty black velvet ribbon that you guys know I love. And I'm going to, let's see, how big do I want this? Is that going to be, I think that'll work. So I'm going to cut this here like this. Okay. And I'm going to make a really simple bow. Just going to put him in there like this. So I got him together there. And he's going to fit perfect just like that. And then I'm just going to cut some legs for him. I keep all my ribbon together just by using a little piece of Scotch tape. And how long do I want the legs? I don't want the legs to be too long. I think that's okay. Okay guys, so I took a piece of that black ribbon and I hot glued it together. All right, so guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a piece of the fabric here. Now, the reason I'm doing it like this is because I want it to lay flat. Okay, I don't want my bow sticking up. So I'm just taking a piece of fabric here, a piece of ribbon, I should say, just like this. I'm going to put it around with some glue. So I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue here, just like that, and I'm going to tie it, but not tie it, okay? So we have our bow, so it looks like we've got our bow with the middle right here, okay? Just like that. Okay guys, and so I'm going to take another piece of ribbon that I cut. These are going to be the legs, and I want them to lay flat as well. So I'm taking it like this, and I'm pushing them just like that. See how it lays flat? It's almost like you take it like this, and then you push it up to where one piece of the ribbon is laying on top of the other one, and it's nice and flat. I'll do it for you again here. Just like that, okay? And it's just gonna lay nice and flat. And I'm gonna hot glue it. And then I hot glued it together just so that it stays. And the first thing now I'm going to do in attaching the bow to our painting is I just put a little glue on the back here, and I'm just going to put it right here, okay? So we have our ribbon on just like that. And then I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to hot glue it right there. Just right there like so. Just going to push it down. Just going to bring my glue gun on over, and I just want to glue my ribbon down, okay? I don't want my ribbon falling over. I want it laying flat on here. I think this looks really pretty, guys. And this is just an upcycled project here that costs very little to make. But I think it looks darling all the same. Okay. So I don't want my ribbon here to to lay like that, okay? But I want my ribbon to have a little bit of life to it. The little legs, that is. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm gonna get my ends. I'm gonna cut my ends here. Get them nice and angled. There we go. I'm just gonna give them a little twist. Just like this. And then I'm just gonna pull them on over. Just like that. How cute is that? And I'm gonna do the same thing with this guy here. Just gotta tidy him up a little bit. Okay. I didn't want them being the exact same. Okay. So we have him on there, guys, and this turned out so cute, so darling, for very, very inexpensive. Uh-oh, got a little string. There we go. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you how it looks. All right, guys, and that is how it turned out. And I just have him set up here for you with a couple of our other handmade crafts that we have done in another video. But just to give you an up close here, how cute is that little bow? And all we did was we just, used a little sponge and we painted on a little wreath using some dark green, medium green, and white. And just used a little paintbrush to add in some red berries. Just like that. Just giving you an up close. And then that's just our little word, joy. Just made it nice and pretty and handmade and very inexpensive. So I hope that you guys like this video, and I really hope I gave you the idea to do something on your own like this, so you can save some money if you're on a budget but still have something nice and pretty for your mantle or anywhere you'd like to put it. So that's what it's all about. So I hope you guys really like this, and I thank you so much for being here and for supporting me and for tuning in with me and listening to me ramble. And I always have a great time when I do crafts with you guys, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And until the next video, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful time crafting. I will see you later. Take care. Yeah, that's it. Take care. Bye.